Hello, it's Lucas Goldsmith and we're back here at the Johnny Rock Stadium for another episode of Inside CTFC. With an important away game this weekend after a disappointing result on Tuesday, there's plenty to dissect. So here's what's coming up in today's show. We have a recap of the game against Grimsby. We interview George Lloyd. Michael Duff speaks to the press ahead of Southend. I take a look at Saturday's opposition. We give you a few games to look out for this weekend. And we have our all new segment, Get to Know. The boys were back playing here on Tuesday evening, however they did unfortunately lose 3-1 to Grimsby Town. There was still plenty to take from the game, so here's Ryan Pelletrat with a recap of the events from the evening.
On the back of 4 straight clean sheets, Cheltenham would have been looking for another strong performance when they took on Grimsby, and they nearly got off to the perfect start, as George Lloyd's effort struck the post, but questionably because of Luke Waterfall's outstretched arm. The visitors capitalised on this near miss not far after with a sweetly taken goal from Arua Edwards. The Robins needed to hit back, and hit back they did, as a quick move up the field was finished off by Andy Williams with a simple tap-in for the striker's 3rd goal of the season. Having not conceded for 298 minutes before the game, young goalkeeper Josh Griffiths had a moment to forget to put the visitors back in the lead. Bright second half appearances from Alex Adai and Elliot Bonds gave the Robins hope of an equaliser. But the Mariners wrapped up the game in stoppage time to condemn the Robins to their 2nd league defeat this campaign. After the match, Liam Serkin was on hand to give us his judgment of his side's performance.
You know, they were a young random team that, you know, they worked very hard, and, you know, they were at us in our faces, you know, all game, and fair play to them. They won more second balls than us, and they put their chances away. We were talking there, we had I think 20 shots on goal, and, you know, we need to take our chances, not even in just this game. Previously in the games we were winning 2-0, we were saying after the games that we need to score more goals, and we have chances, and we've got to create better chances for ourselves. And, you know, there were chances to be taken today, but we didn't take them, and they did.
On the back of that disappointing result, here's what Michael Duff had to say ahead of Southend on Saturday.
They had a difficult start where they lost the first 3, but drawn the last 2. Obviously, Exeter have had to score an absolute worldie in the 96th minute to equalise last week. So you look at probably the teams they've played on paper. Exeter would have been the hardest on paper, and they probably should have beat them. Like I said, Alex Fisher's come up with an unbelievable 25-yarder in the top corner in the 96th minute. So they've got an identity. They play good football, and they try and play through the thirds. They try and break lines. Got a bit of everything in terms of footballers and physicality as well. 2 orthodox wingers generally. So we'll go there. It's a long way to go. And like I said, people will look at tables now. I can guarantee the table doesn't look like it is now in probably 10 games time. They've come from a level above. So it's going to be a difficult game because it's away from home and it's a long way to go. And like you just said, everyone expected us to beat Grimsby. It's a nonsense. It's hard to win a game at this level. So we'll go there knowing that we're going to have to be at our best.
And playing away from home, has it changed this season without the crowd there? Has it made it a bit more of a level playing field, do you think?
I think so, yeah. I think, you know, Tuesday night was probably a game where we really did need the supporters to sort of help us. You know, we weren't quite at it, but we did build a little bit of momentum in the second half. And with the crowd, that might have helped us, you know, find that second goal, that equalising goal. And then if that had happened, what ifs and maybes? But the facts are it's difficult. It's the same for everyone else. And I think the stats probably tell you now that there's more away wins than there ever has been statistically. So it probably backs up the fact that, you know, referees don't get influenced. They'll tell you they don't, but they do. It's just a human subconscious feeling, doing. So yeah, every week we're going to say the same things, but we do need the supporters back, and I don't think it's a case of bringing the supporters back at all costs. I think people have proved that it can be safe. I think the confusion in football at the minute is you're seeing people can go to the cinema and watch a game of football. People can go to the bar and close the curtains. And, you know, I think there's Arsene Wenger is talking in a theatre about football, but you can't go and watch the football in an outdoor theatre, in an outdoor stadium. So there's lots of confusion. I think that's the most frustrating thing, because it seems to be all right for one and not for the other. But yeah, we need them back as soon as possible for lots of different reasons.
In this week's player interview, we spoke to George Lloyd, who's recently made the step up into the first team and made several impressive performances. Here's what he had to say.
So you partnered up with Andy Williams more recently. Have you felt his influence as an older figurehead in the side?
Yeah, it's brilliant to play with Andy Williams. Obviously, he's played a lot of league games. I'm not too sure how many, but I know there's a lot. Obviously, he got himself promoted last season with Northampton, which is something we don't like talking about as much. But he's just on the pitch. He's great. He's just always there to put an arm on his shoulder when you need to, always to give you confidence and constantly talking to me. And I just find myself, he constantly always giving me information that keeps me switched on 24/7 in the game, and it's just a massive help.
Yeah. And with Michael Duff, has it been an arm round the shoulder approach from him, or is it, because I imagine there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, so has it been that approach from him, or maybe a bit tougher?
Kind of a bit of both. I think when you're doing well, he'll tell you, but at the end of the day, even in our league, you've got to learn so much, and I've only just started playing more regularly, so I've got so much to learn. In every game, I feel like I notice something that I need to improve on, or I notice something that I have improved on. And I think the message to me this season's been like, you've shown a lot of signs of development, but there's a lot more to learn. I mean, I'm only 20. I haven't really played many league games, like many league starts in all in around. That's 13 now, I think. But it has been one of, I think he's given me a lot of confidence in myself. But I know if I'm not up to standard, he'll tell me, and I think that's what any manager would do.
Yeah, and especially with the way you were denied a goal against Grimsby, I bet you're desperate to get your name on the score sheet now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's annoying really. I know I scored the one at Leighton. Willow was there, Faz was there. They all said they all couldn't believe I didn't get it. I know it looks like it on the video, but he hasn't actually touched the ball. So I know I scored that one, and it was just annoying that I've kind of basically put one in and he's saved off the line. Which could have been another one. So, but it just is what it is. I just got to go again really, and just make sure I get one.
Yeah. Have you got any sort of celebration planned for when it comes? Maybe anything cheeky?
I've got two that I've had to think about, but I'm gonna leave that and be a bit of a surprise.
Keep it under wraps.
Yeah, be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. So Southend this weekend, what do you expect from them?
Same as, I'd say, it's the same as Grimsby. I mean, Southend, we're in the same boat as Grimsby, haven't won yet, if I think that's correct. Yeah. So they're desperate for a win. Same as Grimsby come right at us for it. So I'm expecting the same. I mean, they drew 1-1 with Exeter. Just 2-2, just easy rejoicing. So I mean, Exeter are a good side. So to get a draw at Exeter, I mean, it's not going to be any easy game, is it? I mean, every game in League Two's hard. So we've got to be at our best.
Much like the Robins, Southend failed to win their last league game, drawing 2-2 with Exeter City, but there's still plenty to be wary of for Cheltenham, so I decided to take a closer look at our opponents on Saturday. After 5 games so far this season, Southend sit in 23rd place in League 2 and are still yet to record a win. The Essex-based side, who were relegated from League 1 last campaign, lost all 3 of their first games and only have 2 points after draws in their most recent matches. The Lake Dolphin wide man Nathan Ralph saved the day against Crawley, and despite leading twice at home to Exeter thanks to Brandon Goodship and Jason Demetriou, the Shrimpers were left wanting more. Cheltenham will be sure to make note of the latter, who has been at the club since 2016 after signing from Walsall. Southend will also be looking for inspiration from loanee Kazar Sterling, who signed for them from Tottenham Hotspur in the summer. Last season's manager Sol Campbell was replaced by Mark Molesley after the club's relegation. The 39-year-old was announced in the summer after joining from Weymouth, but hasn't yet been able to help the team return to winning ways. In what is their first away game since the win against Leyton Orient, the Robins will be in action at the Root Hall Stadium this weekend. Cheltenham had a slight upper hand when the sides have previously met, winning 13 and drawing 6 of the 29 meetings between the two clubs. There's still lots of exciting action elsewhere in League 2 this weekend. Here's Alex Bullions with a look at a few of the best games to keep an eye on.
Matchday 6 of Sky Bet League 2 commences this weekend as Cheltenham make the journey to Essex to take on Southend United. But here are some other fixtures worth looking out for. League leaders Morecambe play away at Crawley off the back of 2 consecutive wins in League 2. A late scare last weekend in Oldham didn't stop the Shrimps reaching the summit, but will face tough opposition from a Crawley side looking to avenge their defeat at Johnny Rock Stadium last time out. Newport County had enjoyed a flying start to the league before Cambridge put the Exiles to the sword on Saturday. This unbelievable strike from Scott Twine wasn't enough to pick up any points, though they returned to Rodney Parade with Tranmere Rovers in their sights, their first meeting since defeat in the 2019 League 2 playoff final. Speaking of Tranmere, they picked up a fantastic away point at Salford City last week. However, despite that, it was their opponents that stole the headlines after Graham Alexander's spell at the club came to a shocking and abrupt end after nearly 2.5 years. His replacement, Manchester United legend and club co-owner Paul Scholes. He'll be hoping to improve on that Saturday draw when they travel to Port Vale as he starts up as interim boss. Meanwhile, Bolton Wanderers and Oldham do battle in a fixture dating back as early as 1908. Conor McElhaney will be hoping to continue his hot streak as the league's joint top goalscorer. And finally, it's a clash of the attackers when Forest Green Rovers play Stevenage. Jamil Matt bagged a hat-trick for the Gloucestershire side last time out, but will former forward Jack Aitchison deliver for Borough.
This week we bring you a whole new segment for the show, where we will be helping you to get to know as many different people around the club as possible. First up, we have Cheltenham ladies player May Butler.
This week we have introduced a new series for Inside CTFC, where we'll be asking the ladies quick-fire questions about their life away from football. First up is May Butler, a centre-back who joined last summer from Wolves Women. She made her first appearance this season at the weekend against Maidenhead. What's your job outside football?
I'm a teacher.
How did you get into football, and who was your role model growing up?
I've literally played football since I can remember, and my favourite player when I was younger was Ronaldinho.
Who do you support and what's your favourite memory from that team?
I support Birmingham City, and my favourite memory is winning the Carling Cup.
If you had to cook a meal for the team, what would it be and why?
Spaghetti bolognese, because it's really easy and I'm not really good at cooking.
What's your Nando's combo?
First fried chicken, 6 garlic bread.
Brilliant, thank you.
And what was your favourite subject in school?
PE.
It was great to get to know our centre-back May Butler in our quick-fire questions. Please stay tuned to find out who our next player will be. Bruna Rees from a breezy evening at Bishop's Cleeve, Cheltenham.
And that brings today's show to an end. Thank you again for watching, and if you do have any feedback or ideas for the type of content you want to see in these videos, just drop it in the comments of this video. But if you do want to watch Saturday's game, you're more than welcome to. You can buy the £10 match pass on iFollow and you can watch it there. But for now, I'll see you next week.